Create. There we go. Did I get kicked out already? I gotta spawn to something, whatever.
That's alright, I can leave this.
Alright, cool. Cool.
If you want to do airplanes, we can do airplanes, but if you want to do co-op, we can do that too. Just quit out of this game.
Let's see, there we go. Preview's working, and good. Alright, sweet. Now I can start playing the game, for real. Alright. Oh god, don't crash plane. Don't crash plane. Please don't crash plane. Ah! I crashed a plane. Damn it. Let's see. And then let me check
I'm headed
my
back to the
audio
menu,
on
so
here.
if you want to fire something else up, we can. We're not joined on the game yet either.
Okay, I'm just going to turn your levels up a little bit.
Does that help?
All right, the sound sounds fantastic. Woohoo!
Nice.
So excited. Oh, I gotta have the stream. I'm gonna crash into a wall again because I'm doing the controls. There I go. And all right, and I will text you the or Facebook thingy Facebook message you the link. Yeah, I love the tech shit in the beginning. Boink, ready. Let's go. Okay, boink, boink. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to You'll Probably Agree. John and I saw episode 12. Well, of course we did. We're supposed to review it every Friday. Or something consistent to that. What did you think? Oh, good. I was removed. So, John, what did you think of this latest episode? Because I know I texted you last night, and no, you texted me, and you're like, oh my God, this happens. And I went, yeah, I turned it off halfway through. It's another rescue mission. You're like, you missed the rest. I'm like, oh, okay, good. So there's something to look forward to. Because I know I was literally watching this like, ugh.
Like it definitely was a rescue mission, but it was the rescue mission, and really the only rescue mission they needed the whole time, this whole series, except for maybe the first episode or the second episode, whenever Omega got away from them. But yeah, dude, like we literally saw the birth of the rebellion and the beginning of the clone civil war in this episode. So it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have turned it off after 14 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, feel free to join my game, by the way. Or how do I send you this invite?
Yeah, you got to send me another invite.
That's weird. It won't. It's like grayed out. It won't let me. Maybe I have to do it the complicated way. Oh, here we go. I know what to do. Join session. Thank you. Stupid thing. All right. Oh, okay. The server is full, and I'll be queued up when it's good. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, I think you're good. We're together again.
Let's just start something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, good, solid episode. You know, we saw each of us had a prediction earlier in this series, and both of them came true. Like you predicted the beginning of the clone civil war. You're like, man, I hope I see that happen. And that was like one of the first things that you were talking about.
Yeah.
When we started this, it was like, how did the stormtroopers? How did those guys get separated from the clones? And it's like, bam, it happens in this episode. And then
that was the coolest thing, is that they I think were there some stormtroopers amongst all the clone troopers, or was it all like clone troopers? Because I swear to God, I heard a couple dudes who didn't have D. Bradley Baker's voice in them. Like,
yeah. I mean, they've been doing that since episode 1. It's like the Empire is moving forward, and they're hiring mercenaries and turning them into stormtroopers and.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, they did do that in the beginning episode.
Like the leader of the stormtroopers, and yeah, it's just nice to see that break now. Because like we said last episode and the last couple episodes, like Order 66 can only do so much. Like that inhibitor chip, that little switch that they flipped on everybody can only do so much. These clones are still people. They still have loyalties. They still have ethics.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably like gun down a Jedi because it's got a lightsaber in its hand, but for the most part, like they're still functioning as human beings, even though they're supposedly clones and property and blah blah blah. But yeah, no, solid episode. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's like I think those inhibitor chips don't have their limitations, you know, and they
We don't
easily
even
could
know
have
what they
written that.
are.
Thank God Dave Filoni found like a way to do that, because he was probably
Yeah.
going like, how the hell do I make a plot out of this? But yes, some of the clone troopers in this episode threw down their weapons and refused to do their jobs, and that's when, well, I guess I can go over. We could go into spoilers now. But that's when Crosshair decided to arrest them, and I thought he was gonna shoot them. I was like, oh shit, like they're all gonna
Yeah.
die now. But
Well,
no,
I mean
from
that's
there we basically, I don't know if there
I
was a
was thinking
line
about
of
that too. It's
dialogue that
like
said clone civil war or something like that, but you can see it happening now. As you said, one thing you were predicting happened. You said the clone trooper from the last episode you think is going to lead the clones sort of rebellion. And you were right, he is. He's doing it right
he's
now.
literally doing it like right in this episode. Yeah, totally. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And like the other prediction that I had was that Tech would literally hand the rebellion the ability to cloak their ships or hide their ships from enemy scanners or whatever it is, and that happened. Like Tech gave that ability to Hera
Oh,
at
so
the
what
end of
is
the
that?
episode. So
So
it's
what's
just
the uniqueness of them cloaking the ship then? That they can sneak anywhere and just rescue people and have them join the
they
rebellion?
can do all these missions that you've been complaining about without getting caught consistently. Like it's like one of the few things that gives the rebellion like any kind of a chance is the ability to hide from the Empire.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what you
and
gotta do. Stealth
and
wins.
they have that now. Like they literally have that in their hands thanks to the Bad Batch and Hera and Filoni and the
Yeah.
wonderful people at Disney. I'm not going to complain about them this week. They did a good job. This episode was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad that it actually led to something. I'm glad to see how these characters are starting to grow. Still some of the characters are just kind of characters, which I think that's just the way the show is going to be because they're like basically classes you'd select in this game.
Yeah.
But I did like how they are establishing Hunter and the rest of these guys as people who are going to actually create this rebellion because we've always seen like little moments where rebellion is being made, but we didn't really get an idea of how it was created. We didn't get an idea of what happened after the Clone Wars. Where did all these Boba Fett's go? And now more just incrementally little pieces are being added each time to the story, and it's good. It's interesting to see that. I hope they have a few more plot points within these episodes, other than just like, okay, save this family who's going to join the guy from 2 episodes ago, who's going to join another guy, who all are trying to start this rebellion.
I mean, they have
Let's
4
see if they
episodes
can do
left, and
something that
yeah.
requires, I don't know, talking a little bit or something. And I know that's odd asking that from Star Wars. I know that's more of a Star Trek thing. But I don't know. It seems like the one scene everyone remembers the most from Star Wars was when Vader told Luke he was his father. That seemed like a talky scene.
Yeah.
Although, if you really think about it, still that was mostly an action scene, and most of those like memorable scenes from the original trilogy are all action. So I can kind of understand why my complaint might sound a little ridiculous. It's like, oh, if you want that, watch something else. But then again, the Clone Wars, they had a lot of action in between their stuff. I just want to see a different kind of action scene. I just want to see like, straight up. I think they were alluding to it in this one. This is going to be like Crosshair versus the Bad Batch, where it's not like, oh, Crosshair's hunting them, and then like they'll just take each other head on, hopefully. I think, in the next episode, because we have how many left now? 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 more.
4 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like, Crosshair finally gets the go-ahead to hunt down his brothers, like, on his own, you know. Why that didn't happen in the beginning, like, still blows my mind. I thought that's why they, like, juiced him up. Like, put him in the machine and made sure that his chip was working well. You know, it was to take out Clone Force 99, but, you know, whatever, we got there. It took him 12 episodes, but we got there finally. You know, making Crosshair finally. I mean, he was gone for like 8 episodes, dude. Seriously, they didn't even mention the Empire or anything for like 8 episodes. It was just like, okay, where's the bad guys? It's like, oh, okay, like they got to go rescue this or do that. It's like there's really no threat. Like we were complaining about it the whole time. It's like, where the hell is the bad guys? You know, and here we go. Yeah, episode 12. Let's roll. Here's the bad guys.
Yeah, there's nothing more consistent in all these Disney shows or any show that I review where it's like we all say, oh, there's nothing happening in the plot, and then something happens in the plot, and they're like, oh, I'm happy with the plot in the end. You know, like I think even Loki, when we were talking about the 3rd episode on Ian Simmons' podcast, he said something to he said, like, I wonder, like, if this show's gonna pay off or not in the end. And you know, there was this filler episode, and now I want to see when the plot's gonna start. And it's like, yeah, it'll start. And it started the next episode because, you know, luckily Loki of all of them had the least filler of any show I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten only half of that show. Like, they intended to do 12. COVID happened. They were just like, okay, let's split it in half. So we got the first half, basically. Yeah, we got the first half, which they're calling it season 1. It doesn't. The ending is kind of like it's not really like a cliffhanger. It's just like, okay, like we're on to the next phase, literally.
Run to phase 4.
Like, we're on to phase 4, literally, after episode 6. But
I was cool with it. I was happy with it. I'm like, yeah, here we go. This is what we came for. This is why we're gonna give a shit.
They still have plenty of time to give you a couple filler episodes and maybe annoy you with some love story and some kissy. But we'll see what happens.
I liked the kissy stuff. I actually didn't mind it.
The thing that was like cracking me up is somebody pointed out, I don't know where, but both of them were born of frost giants. Neither one of them ever get cold, and they were both faking it just so they could cuddle. I
forgot about that. Yeah,
they were faking it.
Yeah, no, I knew he was a frost giant. I don't know why that never.
They both are. They're both sons of.
Yeah, I had to quit out of the app and reopen it, so I just invited you. So join me, and then I can fire up a game. But yeah, Loki aside. Aside from the stuff late, I guess I could go over a little bit of what the plot was, which was Hera's family was kidnapped the last episode, and the Bad Batch has to rescue them. I think the name of the episode was even called, like, Rescue on Rylac. And basically that's it. But once they rescue him, it doesn't just end there. One of the clone troopers, what's his name? The one who's starting the rebellion?
Captain Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser has basically just threw down his weapon and just said, what are we doing? Like, why are we hunting the people we're supposed to protect? What is going on? If I'm not going to take these orders anymore. And the other guys threw down their shields, and that's significant because good soldiers are supposed to follow orders, and now they're doing the exact opposite. So we're seeing the seeds of a clone rebellion being planted, and we also see how Hera sort of grows to be the rebellious figure that she becomes in Rebels. I still have no idea how she loses the French accent. I'm guessing somehow she runs into Caleb in this show or something, and they get
People's
to
accents change.
yeah, and
I
then
have a
things
friend
shit.
that was
Maybe her
born
parents
here
get
in the
killed.
suburbs of Chicago. She has moved to Ireland and now has a bit of an Irish accent. It's only been a few years, so give it a
Really?
couple more decades. Yeah. Surround yourself with people with another accent and your accent will change. You will absorb the dialect. You will
That
absorb
has
the
happened
accent.
to me. At the bar
That's
we
the way
do,
that's what we do as human beings. It's kind of
yeah.
fantastic, which also like goes to like lay down the possibility that, you know, maybe Omega's accent changes when she becomes Phasma. I still just want to bring that every single episode. Bring it up every single episode because that's at the heart of this show. That's what I think is happening here.
I
Omega is Phasma, and they're trying to bring some relevance to the First Order.
I'm just wondering how they'll do that when uh Phasma was basically thrown in the garbage and then knocked out like a joke the second time. Maybe they could rewrite it like both times she
Exactly what happened to
survived, she was
Boba.
just screwing with them and just planning something
Exactly what
else.
happened to Boba.
Yeah.
Boba got thrown into a pit. She got thrown into a pit. Almost
Yeah,
everything that
that
she
does.
went through, he went through.
That makes sense.
He's Boba. He's Alpha. She's Omega. So she's Bob Z, the last Bob. He's Bob A. He's the first Bob. She's Bob Z, the last Bob. That's an inside joke between me and a couple million clones. Sorry, everybody.
Bob Z and Bob A. You know what? It's starting to make sense. It's like, yeah, they could just write it like Boba. Like, yeah, people always thought I was doomed. I was fucked. But I was fine. You know, the trash compactor thing, I don't even think she went in the trash compactor. And then the thing where like Ray hit her on the side of the head and there was like an exploding ship. You can definitely write like an awesome sequence of how she got out of there.
Yeah, but just to have, you know, this era of Star Wars not completely turn their backs on those sequel movies is like kind of impressive, honestly. It's like, yeah, good job. You guys are acknowledging, you know, the trilogy mess that happened. You know, at least you're acknowledging, and maybe you're gonna go in there and plug some holes for us and make it make a little bit more sense, even though it's extremely problematic throughout. Like maybe they can do a little bit of, you know, some Star Wars saviorship like they did with the prequels. That's kind of what I'm hoping for with this series and stuff going forward. That's connecting, I don't know, just connecting the dots a little bit more than
Yeah.
the movies could.
Yeah. Yeah, it connects the dots more than George's writing had any limits in. Yeah. You know, because it seems like it seems like he wrote the idea, but then, he had to write the characters. And George Lucas is a phenomenal filmmaker at creating atmosphere. THX 1138 was a no budget, sort of brilliant picture where the visuals were fantastic considering the little budget that they had, and it was genuinely like a horrifying yet humorous, oddly humorous kind of film. And then, oh, I'm supposed to hit this guy. Okay, and then I'm playing the campaign because I haven't played this campaign in like I don't know how long. I think since the game came out. And I don't know. But anyways, and American Graffiti, just the sound design that Walter Murch used, along with THX with that, you felt like you were literally like on the streets in like 1950s small town Los Angeles. So then Star Wars was like the perfect sort of update of uh, I don't know, it was kind of a hodgepodge of all ideas from Kurosawa to um, mythology to I can't remember the name of the author, so I'll just leave it at that. But George's movies are great for their vision, but the acting, no, he just kind of pointed the camera and he's like, "Go ahead." So like he never really cared about specificities when it came to character. He just cared more about world building. Hence, the world building prequels are brilliant, but the scripts are lackluster. which explains why this show, where am I supposed to go? Which explains why shows like this are great, where you have writers come in and fill in those voids that Lucas left behind. And like you said, it's like now we're invested in seeing what happens at this point with these characters. We care about why this rebellion is being built. We get to know so much more and are invested in something that we never thought we would have been invested in, which were the prequels. So for that, yeah, this is pretty great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't like Empire Strikes Back level good or anything. But you know, within some of the Star Wars cartoon canon, it's pretty good. But again, I really want to see what it's gonna be in the end. Like if it's really gonna pay off big, like with an hour and a half episode and all that, which I think you said it is.
I mean, I'm guessing it is. I'm hoping it is. They
Yeah.
started off with a movie. They might as well end with a movie. If that's going to be, one and done series for this Bad Batch situation, which I would be absolutely fine with, actually. Like, they really don't need to give us another 16 episodes, and half of those are fucking rescue missions. Like, I'm good. Yeah, if they wrap it up with a solid, 90-minute finale here, I'll be satisfied.
That's what I'd like to see. Yeah. Having said that, is there anything else you want to talk about with this episode? Because I've kind of exhausted all of my thoughts on it.
That's pretty much it. We got some big stuff in this one single episode, and they literally could have skipped 8 episodes in this season, just like giving us the meat of this one, really. Like,
yeah.
There really just wasn't like any kind of like character building. It's like they're clones and they're a little bit different, and Wrecker's cute and he's got a nice relationship with Omega and blah blah blah. But dude, we did not need to waste 10 episodes on that bullshit. It's like going forward, Star Wars 6 episode, 8 episode like mini series, like focused storytelling. Like let's think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you can see where the limit is, and I should give credit to the screenwriter for this show. I should actually get up and look up what her name is, because I keep going, oh, what's her name, and I feel bad doing that. I should actually look up her name. But it seems from the credits that I've seen, she's sort of the main writer of the show. So, but I have to say, if that's solely her vision, I guess it's great to see that Dave Filoni hired her. And hey, look, girls can write Star Wars too, and you don't have to, that has inclusivity in Star Wars that I liked better than the pandering that they did with the character in this game. Anyways, Bad Batch, what's her name? Oh yeah, I forgot. Ming-Na Wen's gonna come back in this. Directors Brad Rowe, 11 episodes. Stuart Lee, 5 episodes. All right. Nathaniel Villanueva, 5 episodes. And Saul Ruiz, 4 episodes. I almost said 14. So then with the writers, developed by Jennifer Corbett, or is it Corbett? I don't know. Ends with 2 T's in the end. 16 episodes. Writers, written by Jennifer Corbett, 16 episodes. So there you go. Dave Filoni. Oh, this says written by Dave Filoni, 16. I think that was more just like, he kind of got credit and that went in his bank account.
One thing I did notice is that they finally
collect those checks however you
the
can.
Gronk droid some lines, which is nice.
Huh?
There's like a little bit of back and forth between the Gonk droid and Omega in this episode. It was real brief, but I enjoyed it.
You know what I'm finding really ironic with Omega, which happens all the time in Star Wars? We're getting people going, ooh, Omega's a little kid. She's annoying. Bleh. It's like, yes, it's Star Wars. It's for little kids. You're going to have little kids in it.
Luke Skywalker's annoying as shit when you meet him.
Yeah.
He's annoying. He's an annoying little nerf herder.
He is. And yeah, Tashi Station and power converters and
He just whines about everything, dude. It's like, shut up, dude. You live in space. Be happy.
dude, like in Empire, he's like the biggest whiny bitch. He's like, yeah, he goes to rescue his friends, but at the same time, he's like, I don't want to do this training. This is hard. This is annoying. It's like, dude, you just started. Like, you just started training with Yoda like fucking 5 minutes ago. Like, what the hell? Like, I know it was more than 5 minutes ago, but it felt like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, the campaign in this is dog shit. I mean, actually, I don't know. I haven't played it in forever. But yeah, it's like, but you know, we don't remember that Luke was an annoying little kid, and Omega's not annoying at all. She doesn't complain. She's useful. You know, she's always she's kind of funny. I like her. She's a cool character.
She's good at chess, space chess.
Oh yeah. Pazek,
Yeah,
is that it? No, Pazek's the card game in Knights of the Old Republic. But this whole time I wasn't able to join one fucking game. But no, yeah, she's great at space chess. She's someone that I find enjoyable, and overall, I don't know what to think yet because I have to see what they're going to do. I want to see if the predictions that we've made that so far have been correct come true again. And oh yeah, here's the map I want.
The next one that I'm really looking forward to is, I mean, prediction-wise, would be, you know, the possibility of Boba Fett coming through.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think you'll see little baby Boba.
I'm still calling that his ability to hunt Omega down and capture her and return her to Palpatine is the only reason that he's, like, you know, let to do what he does.
Yeah. Well, something's gonna happen to Boba, I think, where you're gonna find out why he doesn't give a shit about anybody. You know, it's like something traumatizing happened to him.
He saw himself get decapitated right in front of himself.
That's one reason.
It's like I just saw myself get decapitated from a third-person perspective. That's gotta fuck a person up, dude. Seriously.
And then what if he tries to save the clones, and then he sees them all get wiped out by the first Death Star's laser?
Man.
It's like, then he's doubly fucked up. It's like every time I see myself, I get killed.
One way or another would be fantastic for this series.
I'm sorry?
Like just a return or a mention of Boba Fett for this series would be amazing.
Oh,
They've
that would be
his name,
fantastic.
but to have him like pop up would be great. You know?
Yeah, I think we might see a little Boba, especially since he's Phasma's his sister. It's entirely possible that could happen. But yeah, having said that, John, where can we find you?
Oh, we're all over the internet. We got Vimeo page, we got the Spotify's, we got the YouTubes. Yeah, Sinema Obscura, cinema with an S. Basically a library of independent film from all over the planet. Music videos, short films, documentaries, web series, all of it in one place. Sinema Obscura.
All right, nice. Yeah, and I know there's always a lot of really interesting material you put on there because, like, you got movies from all over the world, and they're from varying, you know, ranges of budgets. It could be some guy with his phone or someone with a whole crew of people. Fuck, Cold Dammer got me. All right.
Yeah, mostly low or no budget stuff, but yeah, everybody. It's basically just to keep the stuff all in one place and, you know, give these filmmakers an outlet for more people to get their eyes on their stuff. And the main idea is for filmmakers to watch other filmmakers' stuff and become friends with filmmakers.
There you go.
So I'm just kind of trying to like be in the middle of that, be like a hub for that kind of situation.
No, that's great because film should always be a community, not a competition.
Yeah. Especially the indie ones. It's like you guys are so like separated from each other.
Yeah.
By so many different ways, and you know that's the one thing that the studios have in common is that they all talk to each other, and that's why like you know, and I don't want to say that's why they're successful, but it's why all their products are pretty much exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But indie comes in, it's like, you guys need a little bit of a network also. So hopefully that's what Sinema Obscura is beginning to start to provide.
Yeah, well, the thing is like you said, Disney's successful at this stuff because it adheres to a script, it adheres to a formula that the audience is receptive towards. But at the same time, they put good writing with that formula. So, like a lot of these filmmakers they hire are these indie people. If you look at, let's say, Chloe Zhao, for instance, who's doing The Immortals, you know, she did Nomadland and was known as like, you know, this big deal, you know, in the indie community that got her the Oscar, and then she got the Marvel job. You know, everyone ends up getting the Marvel
Phillips
job in the
started
end.
with indie documentaries, I believe. So it's just like, yeah, he made, you know, standalone Joker, and you know, it's different.
Yeah, it's so weird because he started out as the Hangover guy, and I didn't know he made. I think he did make documentaries, but I don't remember what kind. I don't think I've ever seen them. I just remember seeing the Hangover films, and then he like made the Joker, and it was. I personally liked it a lot. I get why some people aren't fans of it. Like it does sort of take every aspect of mental health and sort of just throw it into a blender of a character. And also, it's extremely unapologetic in the influences that the movie's using, which is, you know, Taxi Driver and King of Comedy and Scorsese films that kind of showed the underbelly of New York in a way. But yeah, having said that, I'm actually writing an article about why Raging Bull is the perfect sort of encapsulation of male masculinity or toxic masculinity in the world. And well, you have to read the article to find out why, but it's I think it's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Oh, don't die. All right, well, John, thanks so much. And everybody, if you want to check out his stuff, go to Sinema Obscura with an S, Sinema Obscura, Obscura.